There was one incident where a girl accused the cop of sexual misconduct. The cop, it was all on film, and she said the cop groped her. I took the cop's side. She clearly didn't. Um, there were incidents where some kids were getting arrested at the pool, and they were all flailing around like they were having, like crazy people, and the cops had to do something about it. And these cops ended up hurting a girl, throwing her into the car. But what are you going to do when you're flopping around like a fish? I don't believe that the cop meant to hurt the girl, so I took the cop's side. I got a list. I don't remember memorizing this stuff, but I think about once every couple of months a video comes out where a cop is accused of misconduct, and it turns out that, considering the circumstances, the cop was doing his job as best as he could, and he had his ego in check. Somebody just happened to either get hurt. All right. You'll take any. Okay, I already said that. Before the video started. Okay, taking aside, regardless of what the video shows, on the before the video started bullshit. And yeah, if you have a video, okay, if you have a video of me grabbing a girl that weighs 110 pounds soaking wet and slamming her to the ground, you should not. A court of law has to consider what happened before the video, gather evidence, but you should hate my guts if I do that. Okay, if you see me at the store and I've got a girl on my arm and I double up my fist, and the first thing you see is you look over your shoulder and I've got my fist doubled up and I belt her across the face. There might be some nuance. I'm sure it happens. Typically speaking, though, the son of a bitch hit a girl across the face. I'm the one who did something. All right. Sometimes you find out something happened before the video. It boggles my mind what could have possibly happened before this video that he had to subdue her by slamming her into the ground. Notice also I have not taken any legal stances. That is also important for later. The string bean of a girl, 4-inch high heels roughly, I'm not an expert with that, drunk, once he had his hands on her, Nans. Yeah, I type faster than I can think. And she had her subdued. Didn't matter much what she did before that. If I really want to get creative, again, apart from her having a weapon, I stand behind that. If she had a revolver tucked away in her garter belt, which, or even if she was wielding a nail file, all right. If she was wielding a nail file, I will justify in his act of desperation to quell this scary sorority girl any way possible before he got killed, if that was the case. I think we all know that's not the case. We all know, but there would be reasonable doubt here. It doesn't matter much what she did before that, and it really doesn't. Slamming her on the ground was a sauce monkey taking out his pathetic power trip aggression at his point. And by sauce monkey, this guy's probably a roid head, but maybe he's not, But a lot of cops take roids. It's a well-known fact. He already had her in his slimy clutches. He did. He already had her. The rest was about his fucked up gratification. I mean, Jay, you've had an opportunity to say what else his motivation could be. You didn't, because the only other possible motivation could be, well, his life. That was noble, would be his life was in danger, but that's not the case. You haven't tried to make that case, and you didn't try to make that case for a reason. All right. I'm reading my shit here so much because, all right, this is getting long. The video starts with his hands on her. Cop apologists always assume the assaulted civilian was doing something before the recording started. This negating the whole point of using the vid in the first place. I hope she sues the sorry ass and so forth. Yeah, I do. Grand jury system thug probably won't happen. Thing won't happen. And yeah, I'm starting to think that actually this grand jury thing will have charges put against the cop, judging by what I know now, because some things have happened in a couple of days since we've had this conversation. What I can't believe is that this moron the morons who run Blue Lives Matter, I got sloppy there, through this was going to attract sympathy for this bully. That's what blows my mind. You had a girl getting body slammed into the ground, and your sympathies immediately go for the guy who body slammed her. That's my problem with you, Jay. That would be your first instinct is to go with the guy who body slammed her. I'm not saying you should say that automatically the girl's in the right. I'm just find it interesting that you did say that automatically he is, that the girl isn't and the guy is. And you did say that because you said actually she did assault him. You reach conclusions. Again, okay, you did say that. And I maintain if the video starts with a cop, oh, hold on, damn it. An idiot who wrote, okay, but the article doesn't get the fact that there is no point in posting a video of assault of a police officer if the assault doesn't appear in the vid. This is confirmation bias. There's no point of showing this video and saying, oh yeah, something terrible happened before the video started. It could be a video that starts with the cop flaying someone and the likes of you would be content with, dare you didn't see what happened before the video started. That's always what they say. That is always what they say. And yeah, a cop has never flayed someone before. That's not the point here. The point is there's no low they can reach. They always resort to that argument. So he says to me, no, Ovid, that is not what I think at all. You're interested in learning more about what I actually think. Okay, Jay. When I say this is what you think, I'm giving you an opportunity to correct me. I'm giving you an opportunity to say, no, it's totally not true. And here's a time a cop said that and I didn't take his side. Or here's a time that, whatever. You give me an example of where I'm wrong, for God's sake. That's why I make assumptions about you. If I make an assumption about the video, then let's be real. Your guess is as good as mine. Although I think my guess is a hell of a lot better in this case. But we'll know pretty soon. The cops have to release the video soon. Are you interested in learning more about, although I maintain, I don't care if the girl hit him. I'm going to tell you right now. Although I don't think she did, I can tell because I saw her in the interview. She has no look of, oh shit, this video is coming out soon. Even if she hit him, once he had her in his, she's still no threat to him once she had him in his clutches. He could have tear gassed her, he could have pepper sprayed her, but he had to body slam her. And that'll be brought up in court, I'm sure. You interested in learning more about what I actually think? No, hanging on to your biases. My biases have been worn on my sleeves. I believe that there was no reason for the cop to do it. That's my bias. I said, yeah, sure. Tell me of a time when you think, oh, okay, so I did that. Assaulted a civilian. A time when you think the civilian side, and we can go from there. There I go again. I'm giving you that opportunity. Give me an example of that. Because I gave you examples of when I did in another conversation. I says I take cop side all the time. I don't harbor the tribal allegiance, and I think you're tribal, Jay. I do. I think that it's a part of your politics to side with cops and assume that they're telling the truth, even though we have plenty of examples of cops lying all the damn time. Civilians lie too. But the badge doesn't make you a more honorable person. I'm sorry, we have more than enough evidence for that when it comes to whether you're telling the truth. I says, on this vid, there's no way this tiny girl, again, I'm saying it again, posed any threat. There was no justification to do this, to do what he did, regardless of his or anyone else's safety, unless she had a gun or maybe a knife. And I said, or a nail file. And I think it's pretty safe to say she didn't. I said, wait a minute. I reached the conclusions too early. Okay, pot and kettle's black and all that. All right, anyway, I believe that she didn't. I already covered that. I believe that she didn't and that this cop is lying. I do. Most likely it's true. But again, even if he's not lying, even if she shoulder checked him, that sounds so menacing. Shoulder checked, my God. I mean, how his wife, assuming he has one, must be terrified that a sorority girl might shoulder check him. What could you possibly do to somebody with a shoulder, especially when you're wearing high heels, for fuck's sake? But even if she had done it, again, I don't care if she did it in regards to whether that move was called for. I'm not saying that if she hit him at charge. Well, at this point, I don't think charges should be put against her because that of the cop's overkill. If she had hit him and he tear gassed her, girl should have charges put against her. No question. Absolutely no question. If she hit him. I don't know about shoulder checking. If that means what I think it means, then grow up, grow a pair of balls, you fucking pussy. A 22-year-old girl in high heels shoulder checked you. Grow the fuck up. You fucking pussy. You have no business being on the police force if that is something you consider assault. If she hit him, okay, fine. Charges. Not at this point. I believe she should be alleviated of all charges of just about anything she did after the cop did that. He already had her in his grip, as I've said, slamming her to the ground. I've none of this doublespeak of takedown. By the way, politically minded people who are on a side okay, a takedown. Takedown is when you grab somebody and you wrestle them to the ground for one reason or another. That was a body slam. Okay, takedown. It's like calling a used car pre-owned. Fuck takedown. It was a body slam. Was an act of revenge. I maintain that. There's nobody. You cannot give me another motivation for it. She wasn't a threat to him. She wasn't running away. He could have tear gassed her. He could have pepper sprayed her. He could have grabbed her and forcibly cuffed her. But he didn't have to body slam her. It's not necessary. I don't need credentials, by the way. I'm not making an illegal statement. I am saying I don't need credentials. I could have wrestled her to the ground, unarmed, without the aid of tear gas, easily. And I don't know, maybe I'm bigger than this cop. I don't know. But, fuck. I've known guys who weigh 150 pounds who could have done it. This was an I'll show you to disrespect me act. This was the cop trying to stick it to her to show who's the one in charge, which is not a cop's job. Okay, it is not a cop's job to administer punishment. It is a cop's job to apprehend. And yes, I'm assuming that was, in the cop's mind, his way of not subduing her, but showing that he was the one in charge. And in an act of revenge. Because maybe she did shoulder check him. Okay, who to boot was smaller than the average 13-year-old drunk wearing high heels. The girl was drunk. Okay, not only is this girl smaller... Okay, this girl is the size of a horse jockey, wearing high heels, and she's drunk. Taking her down without body slamming her should have been a walk in the park. This guy's a bully. No circumstances where body slamming her face down was called for. Okay, back to Jay. I am not assuming anything. You are, Jay. You totally are. You said that she assaulted him. You're assuming plenty, Jay. You keep telling me I assume too much, but you are. You just don't see it. Hopefully you do now, assuming you got this far in the video. This is what's being reported by the police and by the witnesses.